Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. I am all sobered up. It is almost 9 in the morning, so we're feeling pretty good today. No hangover, because I strangely don't get that many hangovers. Luckily, thank God. I had a headache last night, but we're fine to now. After I record this video, I'm gonna go do some grocery shopping and get some sweet egg McMuffins. Sausage McMuffins, sorry. No egg. Egg's gross. Not really. I just don't like eggs. Uh, that might get me in hot water, anyways. Um, well, early this morning, very early this morning, we got the skill preview for the new Christmas Shuna. And you know what? I mean, her art looks good. She also has a microphone, so I assume she's gonna sing, Mariah Carey songs to us, but in her own little cute voice. Um, Sure, okay. She's the final unit on the Pretty Sparkle category. I don't mind her outfit. Shuna, like I said last night, is waifu. Not top tier number one waifu for me, but certainly waifu. First things first though, she's fire. Which, I mean, really, guys, like you gave us one Earth unit. You give us one Earth unit every 6 months, and that is just that is just not good enough. Like look at the Earth units. Look at them. It's pathetic. We've got Guy, who's he's really good, and then we have Mirai, who's honestly probably the worst unit of this entire collab, and she's the DPS, which is not a good thing. Um, and then we got EX Miran, who came out in February. Guy and Rimuru came out in the same meta, and then we've got the big three, but she's a support slot. We have terrible, decent, terrible, okay, terrible, okay, good, skill fused for a defense team, but terrible, the Chad, bad, 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 good. So it's like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a meta where the enemy is space, and you definitely want an Earth unit. We're gonna give you a mid Earth unit, and then we're gonna give you um, a free to play light unit because light just doesn't need no light doesn't have enough units, and we'll give you a water unit because why not? Because we have the most EX water units in the game. And then we're gonna give you a fire unit because we can't just give you two earth units because that would be too powerful. So I don't know what's going on in their heads right there. But moving on, her first skill increases all allies' synergy rate by 100%. All allies, not Pretty Sparkle and Ogre's Pride, all allies. So that right there already gives her insane value because in a stage where you maybe can't pierce and can't crit, but you're meant to use synergy as your additional damage ability, she's going to be important. And right now we only have Protector Lumi that can actually do that, and she's a blue focused stacking unit. So sometimes she doesn't work on a team that you want her to work on. So the Shuna has pretty good value by just giving people synergy rate, which I prayed to the high heavens that she would have it, and look at that, she has it. And then her second part increases all magic allies' synergy power by 40%, which is also pretty good. It's less specific. No, it's more specific than the first part because you give out synergy rate, and then magic character allies give synergy power. It very much reminds me of the anniversary Dark Rimuru. Let's go find him real fast. Where are you? Anniversary Dark Rimuru gave everybody crit, but then Dark allies got 40% crit damage. So you could put him on a team and you could have a crit buffer, but only if you were Dark would you get that extra buff right there. This is the same thing where you can put synergy on everybody, but only magic characters would get synergy power. Which honestly, it's not a big deal. We've had now 4 metas back to back to back to back of magic characters, very strong magic characters. You had Wielder of Magic, Vengeance. You've had the Visions of Coleus team, and now you have this team, which is still it's a pretty good meta. It's just dependent on collab units that will never come back. So that's like the main problem I have with it. So already Shuna I think has pretty high value, And it's even better because the Shuna is not a collab unit, which means that she will be back in the future, which means that if you don't pull her now, which I I have to see the rest of her kit, but I don't know if people should pull on her yet. I can't make a judgment call without seeing like her traits and her stats and her other skill. We're going to talk about this other skill very shortly, but if you're asking me in this video comment, as it goes up, should I summon? I don't friggin' know. We got to wait until tonight. What 12 9 hours from now, essentially, give or take, until she comes out, and then we will do a should you summon video once I have tested her, once I have seen her kit. Then I can give you a pretty basic answer. But this skill right here is pretty good. And the fact that she's not limited means that she will come back eventually, sometime. Maybe because it's only her that's going to come back. So she'll come back in like a selector pack. She'll come back on a Redux banner or something. She will be available in the future, unlike Mirai, Tsubasa, Shizuka, and Idol Rimuru, because they cannot bring those units back because they're part of a collab, and that costs licensing money, and that's a lot of money. Her skill 2, 15 points, announced in game. So last night I was saying I want her to have synergy rate, and I want her to have an alt swap ability. This is a perfect cost for a triple alt swap for greens, because we have already set the precedent that where's Rimuru? Rimuru's single alt swap costs 15 points. Okay, all right, that's a single alt to blue. Blanc's triple swap to blue costs 25 points, only 10 points more to go from a 1 to a 3 alt swap. We only have one unit that does a single alt swap to greens, and that's the Hero 2.0, and her skill costs nothing, right? And this is a single alt swap into a green orb. So if we have that, and then we have a 15 cost skill on a team that seems like it desperately needs an alt swapping ability, it shows quite a bit of thought process and logic that a 0 cost single swap could be enhanced to a triple swap for 15 points. Because that's more expensive than going from a single blue to a triple blue, because that was only a 10-point increase. So and we don't have 10-point skills in this game. So I think, do we? Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. But I think we could get very lucky, and we could get the unit that I really want. And if that's the case, then I think the Shuna does have good, strong value on a number of teams as a green alt-swapping character, and then having Blanc, whose banner is still up, by the way, and then having Blanc as a blue alt-swapping character. And then I don't think oranges will ever get one, because oranges give nothing but alt. So I think she could end up being pretty good and pretty versatile on any team, because any team can benefit from synergy unless you're already getting synergy from like Lumi or something. And then synergy power is only magic, but there are a lot of magic teams that can benefit off that in the event you can't crit or you can't pierce. And then a green alt swap is great, because if you're running a green team like I don't know, the Anniversary Dark team, the Vengeance team, the Bride's team, like you can use the alt swap ability. So I think if that ends up being the case, she will have good value. Her alt, single target magic attack, fire. Another single target fire magic attack, 490%, 200% combo gives you 1.5 times damage. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I originally posted this on the community post, I thought she was an AoE. I thought she was a really strong AoE. And now that I'm looking at it right now, I realize it's single target, which means that we now have single target, and then the shittiest of AoE units. I honestly thought she was going to be a decent like an AoE fire, and we could have a good EX AoE fire unit who's got a self buff and an alt swap. Like, she would work on a bunch of Jubilee normal teams in case we need to use a fire nuker on an AoE stage, because I don't want to use fucking Lumi. So I thought she was gonna be AoE. actually, I'm very disappointed now that one, she is not AoE, and two, she's not friggin' Earth. So those are my only two complaints right now. Is that she's not AoE, she's not Earth. So, and I know it's weird to be complaining about she's not an AoE, but like we've got Summer Shizu, we've got Megumin, we've got Violet. Velzard's old, Shizu's a support, and all the rest of these units are terribly old. So we could use a new one. But, we could use another Earth unit regardless over having an AoE fire unit. So there's two complaints wrapped into a nice little Christmas present right there to fit the theme. So looking at it now, this would be Idol Rimuru, Shizuka, Mirai, Tsubasa, the new Shuna, Okay, none. We'll just put the Shuna in there. And then I don't know who would be that last slot, because you could certainly put Dark Milim, but she also has a 55-point skill alongside Shuna, and since the team doesn't raise skill cap, what you'd have to end up doing if you want to use both of these is if you'd have to use Shuna's buff first on, like, Mirai or something, and herself, and then send them both to the back and hold it, and then the next turn you get another 55 points, and then you nuke after using the alt buff ability and the attack buff from Tsubasa. So that's the way you would have to get around that. There's no way to use two 55-point skills at the same time on this team. But because these are not like buffs that lose value across turns, you can hold it. You can just keep the synergy rate and the power on your units if you send them to the back and then bring them back in when they're ready to nuke. So that is nice. Apart from Dark Milim, the Pretty Sparkle team is really not that great. You could obviously you could bring Bride Shuna as well alongside the new Shuna, and you could just have an alt or an Orbs Stealer, or you could bring some other rando unit. Like I might continue to bring Octogram Lumi wherever she is. Instead, and then the new Shuna, because it's a permanent alt buff, and you don't have to have people up front for that. So I might run that. But yeah, so we have Shuna coming out. She's got a good first skill. I'm hoping she's got a great second skill. She comes out in 9 hours from now. So let me know what you guys think about Shuna. If it's not the alt swapping ability, what else do you think this skill could be? What else do you think this team needs that's only a 15-point skill? Let me know in the comments, but that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later tonight.